So this is kind of a caveat to the video I made, I think, yesterday. Yeah, about graven images. And I saw something on a TikTok that just like, oh gosh, wow. So, how many of you Christians think when you see an upside down cross? What do you think when you see an upside down cross? Think about it. Does it immediately stir up thoughts of anger and blasphemy? Because they've turned your graven image upside down? Like, do you not see the hypocrisy here, the ridiculousness? You think because you took something and turned it upside down, all of a sudden it becomes a graven image, and it wasn't before? What happens if you take a statue of Mary in a Catholic church and turn it upside down? Does it not become a graven image all of a sudden? Because now it's upside down? And you think it is to begin with? The ridiculousness of how y'all think is staggering and almost unbelievable. And I get it. Like, I do, man. I know what you're thinking and feeling. Because I was there a long time. But you need to consider this. You think just because they took an object and turned it upside down, all of a sudden, it's blasphemy and it's a graven image. Really? Or was it that to begin with? And since I know most of you are not going to read what I told you to read yesterday, I'm going to read it here now. It's Isaiah 44, starting in verse 9. They that make a graven image are all of them vanity, and their delectable things shall not profit. And they are their own witnesses. You're your own witnesses against yourself. You formulate the witness the Father is going to use against you in the day of judgment. You create that yourself. Oh, let's see. They see not nor know that they may be ashamed. Psalms 115 and 135. They see not nor know. You deaf, dumb, and blind. Behold, all of his fellows shall be ashamed, and the workmen, they are of men. Let them all be gathered together. Let them stand up, yea, they shall fear and shall be ashamed together. Okay? Skip to, Now the smith with the tongs both worketh in the coals, and fashioneth it with hammers, and work it with the strength of his arms. Yea, he is hungry, and his strength faileth. He drinketh no water, and is faint. Oh, I wonder what water we're talking about here. Are we talking about the rock at Horeb that was split and gushed forth the life-giving water? Of the words of the Messiah that you refuse to listen to and obey? Verse 13, the carpenter stretcheth out his rule. He marketh it out with a line. He fitteth it with planes. He marks it out with the compass, and marks it after the figure of a man, according to the beauty of a man, that it may remain in the house. He heweth it, he cut down, see, I'm kind of paraphrasing because this is King James. He cuts down cedars, and takes the cypress and the oak, which he strengthened for himself among the trees of the forest. He planeth an ash, and rain doth nourish it. What is verse 14 talking about? He cuts down the trees, marks it out with a compass, makes it after the figure of a man, planes it, cuts it out, puts it together. And what do you got? After the figure of a man. What is a crucifix? If you think a crucifix in the Catholic Church is a graven image, but you don't think just because they took the guy off of it and stuck it in a different building, it makes it not a graven image? Like, do you see how how deceived you are? You take a crucifix and you took the Messiah off of it, and all of a sudden it's not a graven image anymore. And then every single church in America has a cross on or in that building, and probably 75-80% of the houses in America have a cross somewhere in that house or on their property. You all have graven images all over your stuff, everywhere. And you've turned a blind eye to it because it's been what you've grown up in. It's been what you've gotten used to. It's the normal. So it's not out of normal. If you walked into a different religion that used different things, you would notice and see all of them, wouldn't you? Oh, look at what they got on their walls. Oh, you walk into like a nail salon or what do they call it? Like an alcohol selling, place. And you see, they've got the little cats that wave, and they've got statues of Buddha, and you're like, oh, look, oh, those are those pagan symbols. Yeah. What do you think they think when they walk into your church and they see these symbols all over the church? Weren't you commanded not to use symbols? Because Satan loves to use symbols in his stuff. Oh, you may know what the sigil of Satan looks like. You may know what a pentagram looks like. And you immediately know those are associated with Satan, don't you? Oh, but because you love Jesus, all your symbols aren't? Did God command you to make a cross and display it in all your churches? Are you doing what's right in your own mind? Are you obeying His commandments? And only His commandments? Are you only obeying His word? Or have you come up with what you wanted to do to show appreciation to God? See, this is what you've done. You have come up with your own sense of worship, your own style, your own way of worshiping the Father the way you want, which is influenced by the heathens. You weren't commanded to make anything for Him and worship to Him. And of course, all you on the freaking comment, well then you might as well throw away the Ark of the Covenant and and it's like, why are you that dense? Do you not know the Father Himself commanded Moses to make this? If God the Father commanded in the Bible to make a graven image, a cross, it would be different. But He did not. Oh, well, you might as well take the angels off the Ark of the Covenant. Well, hello? He freaking commanded it to be made that way. That's a commandment. You're supposed to obey the commandments, right? You don't even do that. You like to come up with your own commandments to obey. That's what you've done. See, that's justification for you to deflect the point here. You've made up your own commandments to follow because you didn't want to follow the Father's. And so then you try to tear apart when I speak forth truth. You want to tear it apart because it's uncomfortable. You don't like it. It's time y'all wake up, Christians. Because if you don't wake up, you're cooked. That's it. You're done. You're cooked. You're finished. You need to repent back to His commandments, His standard, His holy covenants of promise, or your ass is grass in the tribulation.